Tampa Bay, we're extremely privileged. We have so many wonderful resources. The Spring of Tampa Bay. Good morning, everyone. This is a case that is not only tragic, but extremely disturbing. Around 10:30 p.m. last evening, a mother's out for dinner and is making every effort she can to get home before her children go to sleep. So she arrives at the house and goes upstairs to say goodnight to her 5-year-old daughter, who sleeps in the top bunk, and her 8-year-old son, who sleeps in the bottom bunk. When she goes and kisses both of them goodnight, her 5-year-old daughter even giggles because she was trying to act like she was already asleep. So she kisses both her children asleep, leaves them there with the children's father, her husband, and runs to the restroom because she has to go to the bathroom. While she's going to the bathroom, she hears several gunshots. She initially believed that the gunshots happened right outside her residence, but then sometime shortly thereafter said these gunshots were too close. Fearing for her own life, she runs outside. When she runs outside, she encounters her next door neighbor. He had already made a frantic 911 call to our communication center saying that he heard several gunshots. She takes over the phone call and starts talking to our 911 dispatcher. As that phone call's occurring, the husband, the children's father, walks outside carrying the 8-year-old son, saying, "Call for help, call for help, call for help." Our deputies and Hillsborough County Fire Rescue rush to the scene and are there a short time later. When our deputies initially arrive on scene, they see the father in the family room cradling the 8-year-old son, saying it was an accident. They're like, "Sir, what do you mean it was an accident?" "It was an accident. I don't know how the gun went off. I accidentally shot my son." Fire Rescue gets there and does a wonderful job of initiating every life-saving measure that they can think of to prepare this child to be transported to Tampa General Hospital. The detectives on scene then say, "Is there anyone else inside the residence? Is there anyone else here?" They said, the husband says, my 5-year-old daughter's upstairs sleeping." Deputies go upstairs only to make the gruesome discovery that there's a 5-year-old laying in a top bunk, laying in a pool of her own blood. She is shot 2 to 3 times in her head. The same injury that the 8-year-old had sustained and suffered from. Paramedics come upstairs, again begin life-saving measures, and rush both children to Tampa General Hospital. Our 5-year-old victim has been pronounced deceased. Our 8-year-old is fighting for his life. He went to surgery last evening and this morning is fighting for his life as the wonderful, wonderful doctors and staff at Tampa General Hospital are doing everything they can to save this young boy's life. This is a case that and an experience that no parent should have to live through, and that no law enforcement officer or first responder should ever have to witness. We as a sheriff's office are struggling today. Our detectives and deputies who were on scene are going to need some help, and we're bringing some counselors in to try to get them through this gruesome scene that they had to witness and detectives have to work through as they continue to put the pieces of the puzzle together here. Arrested is Jermaine Lavonda Bass. He's 30 years of age. His date of birth is 4/27/1992. He has been charged with first-degree premeditated murder and first-degree attempted premeditated murder and aggravated child abuse. I hope that this individual feels the full weight of the criminal justice system and never sees the light of day where he can ever be in a position to harm another human being. In Tampa Bay, we're extremely privileged. We have so many wonderful resources. The Spring of Tampa Bay. If anyone ever feels they may be a victim of family violence, pick up the phone and take advantage of such a wonderful resource. The same goes for the crisis center. It's a simple as calling 988. That's as easy it is to get the help that you may need, is to call 988. As deputies initially working through the call, and once they went upstairs and made the gruesome discovery that he had also shot his 5-year-old daughter, they read him his Miranda rights, and he declined to make any further comment. I don't know why he did this, and I don't know if we'll ever know, and he didn't make any further comments except the fact when we encountered the 8-year-old son, and he said that it was an accident, that he accidentally shot his son. But you don't accidentally shoot your children 3 to 4 times in the head. I'll try to take any questions I can at this time.
Have there been any other calls to service at this residence?
Yeah, great question. No calls for service at this residence, and the Jermaine Bass, we find no criminal history on him.
Has the mother been able to shed on any light on whether or not there's been any prior instances of domestic violence?
Yeah, from not that we know at this time. We continue to talk to her. As you can understand, she's been through something quite traumatic. So we tread lightly as we're trying to have those conversations with her, but nothing that we know of now. But again, this is extremely preliminary. That could change as she starts to gather her thoughts, but nothing that we know of now. No indicators. Like I said, she kissed her children goodbye and went to use the restroom to go to bed herself.
Other than this residence, how would you describe safety in this area, this neighborhood? How's safety there?
This neighborhood in North Tampa, up by the USF area, it's a nice neighborhood, a nice family neighborhood. Again, the neighbor heard the gunshots and walked outside to see if he could offer any assistance, and immediately called 911. That's all we could ever ask for. So not a bad neighborhood. It's the Armature Gate townhomes north of Fletcher Avenue, east of Barris Avenue, a nice community.
And you said the mother ran outside because she thought the gunshots were happening outside?
No, she initially thought the gunshots happened outside when she was using the bathroom, but then realized that they happened inside the residence, so she ran outside real quick, and that's when she ran into the neighbor who was there to offer assistance and who had already called 911. And again, moments later, the husband, the children's father, run outside as well, cradling his 8-year-old son, saying, "Call for help, call for help, call for help."
Any other questions? Sorry, do you have an exact address? I can get that. Okay.
Yeah, I do not, but we'll certainly get that to you.
Sheriff, what's your message to the family, to neighbors, to those dealing with this loss?
To this mother who's lost one child and could possibly lose a second, and whose marriage is obviously over, our heart goes out to you. I certainly will pray for all of you today.
Sheriff, one more question. Was the gun registered to him?
I don't know that. We know it's a .380 semi-automatic firearm. Again, working through those details now. If we get those, I'll certainly put everything we get out to everybody.
Sheriff, those were the only 2 kids in the home? It was just them?
Yes, it was just the 4 who lived in the house, just the 4 were inside the residence when this happened.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming out. And I'm Sheriff Rochelle Bilal for the City of Philadelphia and County. In collaboration